What's up, World Wide Web E-Daddy, your angry toy guy, and I'm back again. And not my normal format. Announced that no longer going to be doing the live format. I'm going to start doing these recorded formats. Hopefully it kind of works a little bit here. We're going to try it for the next month or so. Get some stuff up out of the way. And see what happens with it. So anyways, so today I'm going to bring to you yes, that's right, that means we are finally going to cover our Sy-Klone episode. And let's face it, he was the Eternian tornado. Or was he Gar Tornado? I refer to him as a tornado, Dashell, and the human tornado. Never could figure that one out, but whatever. Originally, in the Filmation series, he didn't go spinning around in a damn tornado form. He could basically use his arms as his arms or torso, could turn himself into a human tornado and create gusts of wind. And this allowed him to levitate off the ground as well, and was extremely effective against Skeletor's various droids. Ooh, I can spin around, I can spin around, I can spin around. In the mini comics that came with the vintage Sy-Klone toy, he was deemed as being the unusual heroic being called Sy-Klone. And he could twist his body at high speeds in order to fly. Also uses power to create high velocity wind effects. No one really knew much about his origins. Had a radar scope on his chest, something that we'd see through a couple or all three various toys we got. No one really knew if it was something that was a cybernetic thing or was part of his uniform. But that radar did enable him to chart a flight course across the Eternian skies, and also allowed him to dodge oncoming projectiles. Fun little trivia note, in most of his mini-comic appearances, Sy-Klone was depicted as being Caucasian, rather than blue-skinned, and his outfit was colored as it was the early concept designs. Initially it was going to be called the Tornado, and was mistakenly referred to this, or by this, in one panel in the Spike or Strikes mini-comic. In the Motu, Golden Motu books, they did give him a little bit of an origin story. He was once known as the Human Tornado, the greatest acrobat on Eternia. Wouldn't that be the greatest Eternian acrobat? I mean, since, humans or Terrans, however you want to refer to them, whichever lore you look at it. First, the people here on Earth, not Eternia. Just saying. Was captured by Skeletor and brought to Snake Mountain. Used the Mechano Ray on Sy-Klone to transform into a living machine. Why does that sound like okay, they used some kind of Mexican technology? Just saying. Don't really sound right there. Sy-Klone discovered that his new body gave him the power to create a whirling tornado. And he went through and he basically refused to join the evil warriors, choosing to instead side with the heroes. On top of all his usual powers, he could also predict and manipulate the weather. Boy, they were going with something straight out of DC or Marvel. Sounds like some of the Marvel villains or DC villains I've seen on The Flash. Alright, so we took a look at, or we talked a little bit about the origins early on. Now, okay. We talked about how these toys work, or how he's supposed to be. First off, that's it. Yeah, he's got, this one's actually got pretty good tight rubber on the legs, so that's pretty good. But he don't go through and spin his arms around. No, this is all we get. Got a little thing on the back to help him spin. A little gear set up. And that radar, look like a cosmic planetary radar there. It's always kind of funny because somebody's supposed to human tornado. Look at the thing on his belt, there's a planet on it. Now these can be turned into some pretty cool stuff. I've seen some guys go through and they've actually motorized this one so we can just hit it, turn a little switch, and it'll just keep going and going and going. And it's just cooler than crap. Like I said, let's face it. You put him on Earth, he's a flying destruction is all he is. But contrary to the mini comics, and this was being alluded to a little bit ago, you know, in the mini comics, he's Caucasian, but yet the toy came out, he was blue-faced. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that actually has a Caucasian Sy-Klone that I customized when I made him an anti-Eternian Sy-Klone and made him Caucasian. Now, you know, toy shows, you know, yeah, he's got the rings around his feet, his arms, the one on the head. But really, that's about it. I just realized in the Golden books, like, it shows like he could eject something out of there and basically make a tornado come out of there or some crap. It's the way the picture looks. But yeah, face it, we go through and have him spin around, go through and just knock them all over. The only weapon he had, and it's maybe like, was just that shield. I mean, overall, he has some good characteristics for him. Great toy to have, play with and all that. Like I said, you give them to where they still spin and everything. And I know a lot of times, you know, keeping that radar piece after all these years is like damn near impossible. It's almost impossible to find one that actually still has a good looking radar piece that's still embedded in his chest and still there, to where a lot of them, they end up falling out over time, or people go through and they pop these little plastic or these little rubber rings off his arms, off his legs, pop that one off his head. Not sure why they would do it, but I mean, the radar piece, yeah, after a while the glue's gonna fall and it ain't gonna hold. But I think I've gotten lucky with this one. Of course, I think I've got like 10 of these things, 10 Sy-Klones, the vintage ones sitting around here. This is like the only one that actually has everything to him. But still pretty cool, you know, to have all together. So, vintage wise, I'm going to go with 3 out of 5 just due to the fact that, one, with the mini comic, it did in the that came with the toys. He was depicted as being Caucasian. 2, really the only thing he could do is he could just spin around. He couldn't do half of what everybody showed him to do. They couldn't do anything special with the arms to get the arms to spin in a circular motion. Instead, just they managed to do the gearing up and get the arms, or get the arms to come out, and just twist his whole body. So 3 out of 5, just because, I mean, one, he's half planetary. Somebody's supposed to be a human tornado and wasn't even human looking. Just saying. Alright, in the German Interpart Condor comics, he could spun his upper body, whirling his fist to attack his enemies, while the radar on his chest could be used to locate missing comrades. Okay, so basically what they're saying is the radar thing was actually just basically a tracker. Did the people who wrote the German Interpart Condor comics not take a look at the toy at all? Seriously? It's like one of his biggest features. The UK comics, they presented their own version of Sy-Klone's origins, known as Deshelle. He was a professional athlete and the fastest being on the planet Snave. Became a champion of good, known as the Rebel. He was known as the Rebel whenever the Horde invaded his homeworld. During the assault, Deshelle was fatally injured. His father, Thornshell, used his scientific knowledge to replace Deshelle's damaged organic parts with newly created synthetic ones. Now a cyborg warrior named Sy-Klone, he drove back the Horde invasion alongside his people. So I guess basically his dad was thorn in somebody's side. Apparently the Horde's. Thornshell? Dashell? What was his mom's name? Beachell? He was aware of Hordax's plans for universal domination, so he journeyed to Eternian to join the heroes. He was brave, energetic, boastful, and he had courageous spirit and would never flinch from evil, battling Skeletor and Hordax forces with true dedication. Thornshell? I swear, the Europeans, they must smoke some good shit. Alright, so we'll get to the 2002 series, in which they provided a unique take on Sy-Klone. He was redefined as a centuries-old mystical samurai warrior and the last defender of the island of Anwat-Gar. Now, we all know Anwat-Gar has had kind of a shitty reputation through different canons here. And now he's a centuries-old mystical samurai warrior. Yeah, they were definitely smoking some good shit. Of course, Anwar was formerly home to a powerful civilization. The final inhabitants had either died out or fled the island, and Sy-Klone was left behind with the duty of keeping a solitary watch over the legendary, or over the powerful legacy stones, which apparently would cause great destruction. In addition to his typical power, Sy-Klone could project exploding discs at his enemies and turn his hands into tornadoes. Yet every toy scene has that little thing on there where he spins completely around, torso and all. He-Man and Man-at-Arms first met Sy-Klone. Oh crap, this is where I hate when I do this. When Skeletor invaded Anwar, whenever old Bonehead was searching for the Legacy Stones. After the Legacy Stones were destroyed in a battle between He-Man and Skeletor, He-Man advised Sy-Klone to join the heroes, which he accepted. He provided sage advice to his allies both on and off the battlefield. And his relationship with other masters helped ease the suffering he felt following the loss of his family and his people centuries before. So, a little bit of time with them helped ease something that for centuries he'd been sitting there moping on a damn island. Eventually decided that the Master of the Universe were his true family and formed a close friendship with Roboto. I'm sorry, if I'm sitting there moping somewhere for hundreds of years, one, I doubt I'm going to become become close friends with a robot. Two, I'm pretty sure that there ain't really any of them that would be worth him even saying, oh yeah, you guys are truly family. Where was any of y'all's ancestors years before, thousands of years ago, whenever I needed them? Instead of having sitting on a fucking island by myself. We don't even have fucking internet over here. I'd have to say, yeah, I'd be a little crappy about it. Alright, so the 2000X toy, I know I've talked about this on multiple occasions. One, with the toy compared to the way he was done, and I even noticed this with the Classics toy, we'll get to that later. I was like, this is like up way too high compared to how it is like in the toy, or in the cartoon. It's like this thing should have been dropped down to a little bit. Horseman knocked it out of the park though. He still had, at least the ring around his arms, his head. Of course, with the head, it made it look like actually it was more of a crown. Still had the rings around the feet. Now we got this one we got the rings around the shoulders. And a big ring there. Still had the radar and the planetary symbol on his belt. And he still charge. You can still get him to spin, which was cool. Horseman knocked it out of the park with the sculpt and all that. Give him a little bit more designs. I'm trying to get a good look at this. The way he looks, guess the Gar was basically Eternia's version of Chinese. The only thing I can figure, he does look a little oriental. But this right here is definitely a cooler setup behind it. But they made him look like he was just absolutely like looking downward the whole time, no matter how you faced him. He's looking down like, oh crap. Centuries I've been by myself and I have to look like this. What the fuck? I'm going to go 3 out of 5 on this one too. Just due to the fact that, one, this whole Asian thing. But this right here is what kind of kills it for me. It was a great throwback to the vintage toy, you know, that they include, you know, where he could still spin back and forth. Had the shield and all that. But this right here, they should have dropped it down to like lower on the back. Or made this thing smaller. Yeah, I can't do much more than that on that one. Alright, now, the Classics cannon piece that they gave, boy, that was just a real good one right there. They expanded on Sy-Klone's portrayal in the MYP animated series. He was the son of Dilex. Dilex? D-Y-L-E-X. Dilex. Was the last defender of Enwat Gar and the protector of the mystical legacy stones till their destruction. Once his previous mission was complete, he joined the Masters. The tech vest armor he wore was a device created by his Gar ancestors to terrorize Eternia after the Great Wars. So originally, Sy-Klone was a villain that after sitting, you know, once again on an island for thousands of years, he decided, hey, they found me. The heroes destroyed my stones, though. I'll join them. Looks like the villains suck this time. I'm going with them. I ain't gonna get my ass kicked. But Sy-Klone redeemed his people by using it to create vortexes of energy to defend the innocent. My people were douchebags, I'm sorry. Take me in. I'll do this. I'll show I'm worthy. He upgraded his armor with with a cosmic radar, allowing him to sense the physical presence of evildoers. Once again, that radar basically became a tracking device. Sy-Klone later took part in the second ultimate battleground against against the Horde and the Snake Men. Okay. So he had tech that from centuries ago that apparently was, you know, high-tech shit back in the day. Terrorized the people of Eternia. People were involved with the Great Wars on the bad guy side. I guess thousands of years sitting on an island by yourself. Guess that just does everything to make you change sides. Alright, now for the Classics version. I'll say this. The Classics version got it right as far as how they made it look for, like he did in the MYP series. Now they do come with an alternate head that was part of like a Eternian head set that you could go through and switch this out, give him the 2000X head. He still had everything, still had the rings around the arms, the feet, around the head. They didn't make it look like he was wearing a crown. Still got the cosmic radar and the little cosmic thing on his belt. Still ain't figured out to this day why they had to do that. Or why they made it where he could do like that. Now I've seen some people go through and take it off to where basically it would look like he was using it as a weapon. I can't get his hands to open up enough to do that. But while they put the little piece here on the back right there, much like the Vintage and the 2000X, you can't do anything with it. He won't spin. This is it. That's it for him. That's all he does. Two out of five only because, one, they gave him incorporated pieces out both the Vintage and the 2000X toy line. However, it pretty much makes him pretty much vanilla, almost like Stratos. He don't do anything. This is where Classics fucked up. They could have, made it to where, had the gearing in his waist, so way he could have spun, much like his 2000X counterpart and his Vintage counterpart. But no, we can't get that kind of goodness on there. We can do all kinds of cool things with other ones, but no, we cannot do that with this one. Okay, now, in the 2012 DC Comics, Sy-Klone himself never appeared in any of them. Those people, the Gar, on the island and Gar, were shown basically because they were the people that was basically responsible for King Grayskull's death. And they were shown wearing armor and carrying weaponry in the ancient past. Pretty much the way that Sy-Klone's depicted in the MYP series. But with that one, they went through and they stayed true with the thousands-old thing and said, you know what, we're not going to give him a chance to show how good he can be. We're just going to show his people being the assholes that they are. They're the reason things are the way they are. Let's just leave it like that. Let's not even give him a chance to be a good guy. Basically means Sy-Klone is a two-faced, bipolar dickhead. Alright, so at this point we've looked at the toys. We've looked at his backstory. Man, there was some screwed up shit in his backstory. No matter how he was created, where he came from, we got different stories on that one. None of it made any sense. Nothing makes no less sense than the centuries-old mystical samurai warrior, or the dad named Dushel or Dilex. Yeah, they kind of screwed the pooch on this one as far as the Classics toy goes. You know, Mattel had the opportunity; they could have done it. I mean, to be honest with you, this is like something that, honestly, nowadays I would say we would expect out of Super 7, but this is not a Super 7 toy. This was a Mattel thing, and they had the ability to go through and do it. Why they didn't, I don't know. It don't make any sense. But whatever. So, with that being said, I'm going to call it. That's my look at Sy-Klone, the toys we got with it. Yeah? Anyways, until next time, everybody, keep on collecting, so way this line never dies. Till next time.